Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson from Glenda's Dragon's Den. I want to say thank you to everyone that's here every week after week, whether you catch it live on Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, or whether you catch the recording. I also like to thank those that have subscribed to my channel. It is a pleasure having you. It is a pleasure, and I'm very blessed and grateful that you are here. If you have not subscribed, it does not cost you anything to subscribe. So please do so. So you can get the benefit of getting notifications of everything else that I do, not just this podcast, but the channeling that I do on Sunday nights, the Reiki sessions that I do on Monday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern, and various other things that I do every once in a while. So I do like to say welcome. And before I begin anything, I want you to just close your eyes for a second, take a nice, slow, deep breath, filling your lungs completely, and slowly exhale, emptying your lungs completely. Slow everything down for a second. Wherever you are, whatever you have felt like today, just arrived here at this moment. Be present. Tonight's format is a little different as I was guided to do this stream by my collective team. And for those that know me, you're going to find out if you don't know me. I listen to my collective team. They have never steered me wrong, even when I never quite understood why they were telling me to do things. So the reason that we changed this today, again, is because my collective team said that someone needed to hear this today. And just for one person's feelings and one person's well being, that's good enough for me because I am all about greatest good and serving divine being, creator for the greater good of humanity. Now, this isn't something that you're just going to listen to. It is something you're going to feel today. And if you found me and this show live at this very moment, I don't think it was random. Not in some dramatical way, but in the sense that something in you is already shifting. Something in you is already questioning. Something is searching, already searching for things, the truth, the way, the path, the guide. Something is already waking up. And tonight, we're talking about spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening, well, we're not going to talk about the version that you usually hear about. We're not going to talk about the aesthetic version. We're going to talk more about the real experience, not the version where everything suddenly becomes peaceful and perfect, but the version where it's real, where there's a confusion, there's a lot of emotional weight, and the feeling that your life doesn't quite fit anymore. I'd like to welcome everyone again, for those that are arriving late or those that see this later. Again, for those that don't realize it, whether you're just starting out or you are a seasoned spiritual person, awakening, spiritual awakening is not about adding something new to yourself. It's about stripping away everything that was never truly you. The life that you were living, the lies that you told yourself just because you thought that then you could fit in, the lies that you bought, right? The things that people were putting down in your mind and making you think that that was truth. It was never, that's not your life. It's never, it's always about stripping away everything that is not your truth. And of course, the process can feel like everything is falling apart. You may see your life at this very moment and start getting depressed. Start realizing all that has happened up to you up to this moment. You're going to start questioning things. You're going to start saying to yourself, what am I doing here? I don't even feel like I belong in this planet, never mind in this life. I feel like somebody else is running my life in a robot form. So let's reframe this together. A spiritual awakening is not a glow up. You don't start glowing, you don't start going, oh, I know everything. It's not an upgrade. It's not about becoming better as people think. It's becoming, it's all about you becoming real. It's all about you becoming real. Let that sink in. Because many of you have gone through it, and awakening moments doesn't happen just once. It continuously happens layer by layer. I don't want to scare you, but it's releasing more and more of what is not you and becoming more of the real you. It's you becoming yourself, your real self. It's the moment where you stop unconsciously living and start actually seeing, seeing your patterns, seeing your environment, seeing the way you've adapted just to belong. That sense of belonging that we think we belong, but it's not our real self, it's the robotic self. And once you start seeing, really seeing, you cannot go back. You cannot go back. Let that sink in. One of the first things that happens is your identity starts to dissolve. Let's face it, you may have created your whole identity around being an attorney, or your whole identity being a mom, or your whole identity being an accountant, or just whatever. Whatever you have created up to this moment, just to feel like you belong to a community. So you feel like you belong on earth. So you don't feel like a freak and you don't feel strange in your own life. You might look at your life and think, this just doesn't feel like me anymore. Just just doesn't. Things that once made sense just don't feel aligned. You used to maybe love to have people over, and all of a sudden you find that that is draining. And it's not the people, it's not the actual having a group near you. It's just that that isn't about you right now, at this very moment in time in your process. You're looking for yourself, you're allowing yourself to shed everything. Now, last year was the year of the snake, where we were shedding, and many of you felt like the world was coming to an end from November till recently, and some of you are still going through it. And now we entered the year of the fire horse. Now, the year of the fire horse means that everything is happening with force and fast and furious and just feels like a tornado or a hurricane. Your life is going. It's already April. right? We just had Easter. We just had solstice. We just had all these things, or, you know, equinox. We just had all these things, and we just can't figure it out. You might not know who you are at this very moment, and that's one of the deeper parts of it, right? Welcome, everyone. This is one of those deeper parts. Without those roles, you just don't know who you are. You don't know if you don't feel like you're that accountant anymore, or that attorney, or that wife, or that mother, or whatever it is. By the way, a mother will always be a mother, but that cannot be your only sole existence. Every person, whether it's a mother or a father, that takes priority, but it cannot be your only identity. You have to know who you are, who you truly are. Maybe before you always wanted to go dancing but never did because what would people think? Mom or dad going out dancing. So what? You didn't go into like the beach, for example, because people were going to see you in a bathing suit. So what? That's what you love, sitting there, listening to those beautiful harmonic sounds of the beach, the waves, the seagulls, feeling the breeze, the sun, every once in a while, a little cloud, the sand, although I don't like the sand too much, but the sand, it's all part of the experience. And without those roles, you may not know who you are. Without those expectations, you may not know who you are. Without that version of yourself that you've been carrying, you may not know who you are. Think about that. And that creates a feeling of disorientation. Not because of anything, it's just that you have created this mold, this box, and now you start to break out. Now you're starting to release everything. Now you're starting to say to yourself, oh no, that's not the real me. And I am breaking at the seams. This eggshell is cracking and opening, and the real me is about to just come out and be born. But listen carefully. That disorientation is not you breaking again. That disorientation is not you breaking. It's you detaching. Detaching with whatever does not align with who you really are any longer. The old patterns, the old beliefs, the old life, living it through someone else's expectations. You're loosening the grip on an identity that was built out of survival so you can feel like you can belong, not in alignment, not in alignment. And then something else shifts. Oh boy. You start seeing through those things. You notice the energy. You notice intentions. You notice patterns. Conversations that once felt normal start to feel surface level. Environments that once felt comfortable start to feel draining. And you start to feel like you're being isolated, or you feel isolating because it's not always something you can explain. You think that it's because you're getting into a depression. You feel like you just don't belong any longer. You feel like it's you. In a way, it is. But it isn't, this isn't a loss. This is clarity. Clarity on or in what you are, what you want, the life that you're supposed to live, who you truly are supposed to be, who you came down for, right? All this time you've been living under somebody else's narrative, your parents' narrative, then society's narrative, then your family's narrative, your friend's narrative. Now it's time to release that. Now is where it gets intense, of course. The emotional waves. Oh my goodness. We cry, we feel unstable, but you're not. It's not random. This isn't you being unstable. Believe that. This is your system finally allowing itself to feel what it didn't have space to feel before. Again, this is your system finally allowing itself to feel what it did not have space to feel before. For example, old pain, old memories, moments where you silenced yourself, moments where you became someone you weren't just to go along, just to go along with the church or your belief, just to go along with society or your family, just to go along with your friends, just to go along, just to wear that mask so you felt like you belong here and you belong here, but not that mask, not that person that everybody else wanted you to be. And those waves of emotions come up, and they come up surprising. They come up when you least expect them. It's like something that happens around you sparks that emotional wave, and you cannot stop it, and you should not stop it. If you feel like crying, but you're in public place and you don't want to, go to the bathroom, right? Excuse yourself. Go to the car. If you're in your house, go in your bathroom. Turn on the shower or the sink. Lock the door. This is your awakening. This does not involve anybody else. You're the only one that knows what needs to be shed, released, and let go. And also, it's somewhat grieving because you're grieving the fact that you lived all this time in a person's life that wasn't yours. With the reality facing you in your face that you were not really living your truth. You were not living your truth. And I know when you're in it, it can feel like you're going backwards. But believe me, you are not. Even though I came to this world knowing, even though I came to this world remembering, I still had to release and awaken to the next level and go and rise to the next level, shedding the expectations that everybody had for me, but not what I really wanted. I really, truthfully, my parents wanted me to be an accountant, and I was grateful that they provided everything for me to go to college, universities, do whatever I had to do. But I never wanted to be an accountant. And halfway there, I changed my major because I had one of those awakening moments. One of those moments. Yes, I am still human. I still have to have that human experience. But one of those moments where the world told me, you gotta be this. And the inside of me, my true self said, no, that is not you. Yeah, you're good at it. You're acing. You're in the honor roll. Big deal. That's not your passion. My passion was law. So I changed midway and never looked back until my team made me change altogether. But that's a different story for another day. You're not going backwards. You're going forward. You're unloading all that junk that you have held all this time. You know, when you're first born, you're in awareness. You're in beauty. You see everything with wonder. You learn how to take your sippy cup and you learn how to drink it without anyone's help. And you're so proud of yourself because that's the real you, learning new things and carrying on the way you should or the way you need to. Later on, you realize you're stepping away from your true path. You were stepping away. Maybe in school you were the smartest person, but you didn't want to show your potential because maybe you were going to be bullied. So you acted like you didn't know things. That's a shame. It's a shame we have to live like that. It's a shame we cannot act and not act, but we cannot be who we really are, but we have to perform for others. Remember, you're not going backwards. You are unloading. You're releasing emotional weight that you were never meant to carry this long. Never this long. Now be real with me for a second. Just pause. Has anyone here felt that lately? That emotional wave that just shows up and out of nowhere. Drop a yes in the chat if that's been you. Or if you don't want to do it in public, please contact me directly. I'd love to hear your story and be part of your journey. Please. Now, then comes the shift people misunderstand. You start pulling away. And other people start to think it's because you don't care. That's not true. But because your energy is becoming more intentional. You are being authentic. You are reaching a moment where you release all that masks that you've been putting upon yourself, all that expectations of everyone else to be you, to be truly you. You can't be everywhere anymore. You can't engage with everything anymore. Why? Because not everything is for you and you are not for everything. Let that sink in. So you create space. You create space. You may not accept that all those invitations you used to always go to. The the draining people that want you to go, for you to go to lunch with them just so they could talk about everyone and complain about everything. That's draining. That is completely draining and brings your energy down. Your frequency gets pulled down to, I don't even know, lower than 3D. Joking. But sometimes it does. Sometimes you feel like you are amongst energy vampires because all they do is complain. They they talk about everyone, and maybe they're just not in that inner circle. Your frequency is starting to blossom. Your true self is starting to get out of that shell. And you need to create your space, your safe, your haven, your safety space, your true self space. And that space feels quiet, sometimes a little too quiet, but in that quiet is where you hear yourself again. Exactly where you find yourself fully again. Amazing, isn't it? Because sometimes we think we're in the right place and all this chaos is to find you. All this hurricane and tornadoes that appear like that and appear like your life is falling apart. It's only to make it better and actually truly put together your life on a proper path as the real you. And in that quiet, when you start to hear yourself again, sometimes you start to question everything. And it's okay. Your life, your choices, and reality itself, right? How many of us haven't even done that without an awakening moment? You're in a bad relationship and you start to say to yourself, how did I get here? I avoided narcissists on purpose. I avoided abuse on purpose. I had already had that. And I said with intention that was not going to be me again. And yet, there you are again, or there you were. Your life, your choices, and reality itself. All questions that come to mind in the middle of the quiet of that beautiful sacred space. This is where your true answers come. Take another deep breath and think about how many times, why do we live the way we do? How many times you really think about that? Think about also why does so much feel automatic? Again, the robot, right? The robot that knows it's got to get up at 6, get the kids out of the door by 7, get to work by 8:30, start this, go to lunch at 1, come home, start dinner, and everything is automatic. Monday, I do laundry. Tuesday, I do shopping. Wednesday, I do special meals. Thursday, I clean the house halfway. Friday, I clean the other half. Then Saturday, it's sports and theater and this and that. Sunday comes and we go to church or we go to our place of faith where we do our rituals, whatever it is. It feels like an automatic week after week after week after week. And this can feel very unsettling. But it's what's replacing it, right? What's replacing is it's what's important is awareness. Awareness and the fact that you're taking the steps now to change. And awareness changes everything because you realize that that was not you. Take another deep breath and just let all that sink in because I know it's a lot. People talk about awakening and they should say, oh, had a bad day or two. And they don't talk about all the dark side of the moon, the soul, the dark side of everything. But it's not a dark side, it's a quiet time in between. So now we need to talk about that part. That's almost That's is where almost no one prepares for. The in between, the void. This is where the space where who you were and who you are becoming are still there. They're both there at the same time. The space where you're questioning every single move that you make. And it may feel like you being ripped apart, but that's okay. You're not. You don't fully relate to your past anymore. And of course, but your future isn't clear yet. And this space can feel empty, confusing, lonely. You think you're the only one going through this. And because we have egos that we have let run amok, okay? We don't search. We don't search for community. We don't talk to others because we're afraid of being ridiculed. We're afraid of being called crazy. You're afraid of being told, oh, just suck it up, buttercup. No, hear this very clearly. Very, very clearly. You're not stuck. You are transforming into a beautiful, beautiful being, your true self. This is where everything is reorganizing internally. Internally. This has nothing to do with the outside world. You will still be the mother. You will still get up and do what you need to do for your kids, for your home, whatever. You're still to be the father. You still be the provider, if that's what your role is. You still, whatever anybody's role is, to continue the family life, to continue being able to live in 3D. You can't just say, oh, I'm awakening. I'm going to quit my job and let my house go into foreclosure and not feed my kids and not buy anything. You can't just say that. It feels like you want to say that. It feels inside like that's what's happening, but it's not. It's just transforming from a caterpillar to a butterfly, becoming your true, beautiful self, your truth, your truth. And I want to share something very important right here, right now, because this breaks a big misconception. Mm. There is this idea out there with many people that once you're awakened, you stop doubting, you stop questioning, and you become completely certain. That is the biggest lie and joke people can say. If you truly awakened, you know that that's not real. Even the most aware, even the most grounded, even the most spiritual advanced beings have moments of doubt, have moments of uncertainty, have moments where they ask, am I on the right path? And they sometimes, many times, go through it all over again because you go through different layers of awakening. Awakening isn't just a one and done, I wish, because then this whole earth would be in a different frequency now. We would be higher frequency, we would be higher beings and our true selves. And those moments, right, when you ask yourself, am I on the right path? Are not a sign of something is wrong, are not a sign that something is wrong. They're a sign that you're still human because you still have to have the human experience. Awareness does not remove your humanity, it actually deepens it. It actually becomes, it lets you become more compassionate, more aware. Doubt is not the opposite of awakening. Uncertainty is not the opposite of growth. They're a part of it. You start to feel more love towards things. You start to feel and see things in a different light. You start to get that wonder, that feeling of wonder and awareness as when you were a very young child before society closed you down. Because growth doesn't move in a straight line, it moves in waves. Believe me, like I said, I may have become into this lifetime aware with remembrance, speaking to my team since day one, letting them guide me, all that. But I still have my moments because I'm still human. Isn't that crazy? Yes, it is. Isn't that is a beautiful thing? Because then my soul still has a chance to evolve to a greater awareness, to evolve, period. So if you've been in a place where even after everything you felt, you still question, you still search, and you still feel unsure at times, that doesn't make you less aware. It still means that you're expanding. Oh, that feels so good. That feels so right. That feels a blessing. Yes, I know. I know. You go through all that and it feels a blessing. You feel like you're birthing yourself and it feels like a blessing. Yes. After a woman has a child going through all that labor and they have a beautiful baby, that is a blessing. After hard work, a sacrifice and everything, you have a career, you have a company, you have a blessing. You just don't look at those things that way. But not everybody has that opportunity. Not everybody gets a chance to have a company. Not everybody gets a chance to have a career. Not everybody gets a chance to do what they thought they wanted to do. So, are you at this very moment just starting to feel this shift? Are you in the deep emotional phase or are you in that in between space? Again, part one, just starting to feel this shift. Two, that deep emotional phase. Or three, or in that in between space. Or maybe you just don't have any words for it yet. And that's okay too. Really, it is. Sometimes we just feel we're not in the right place to share. And that I respect that. So you can always contact me directly. Again, I just love to read your comments or your emails. And, even if you're watching this later, don't feel left out. Contact me directly. I truly would like to know and be present on your journey. Be part of that if you allow me to. Hmm. This feels so right. I am sending so much love out to you. I am so glad that my team and so blessed that my team directed me to do this today. I feel many of you needed this today. Many of you needed real talk. Just so you know, you're not alone. You're not the only one. And there's a community right here waiting for you with open arms, no matter where you come from, what level of awakening you're in, how you're feeling. Open arms. We hold you. We have created this sacred space here. So now I want to share something with you from a real place. I've had opportunity to help many, many people on this path. People that are just starting out, people deep in it, and people who are trying to make sense of everything in between. And one thing always comes back to this. I am not here to tell you what you believe. I am not here to tell you what your path should look like, because your path is yours. What am I here for? I am here to hold space, to create a space where you think clearly, where you can question without judgment, where you can feel without being rushed. A space that feels safe, that feels grounded, that feels sacred. Because a lot of you are going through this. You feel misunderstood. You feel unheard. You feel alone. And you don't have to feel that way here. You deserve to be heard. And at the same time, I will always encourage you to trust yourself. I will trust yourself to make your own choices, to follow what resonates with you. I am just here to give you the tools to help you, to create that safe space, to hug you, to be here for you, to hold you. And because real growth comes with awareness, from learning how to listen to yourself. Some of the stuff I said anywhere may resonate with you, and some don't. And I tell everyone, what doesn't resonate with you, just cast it aside. May not be your time, may not even be yours. And it's okay. I am here for you. So if your life feels uncertain right now, if things feel like they're falling apart, if you don't even recognize who you used to be, that doesn't mean you're lost. Remember that. It means you're waking up. You're not breaking, you are becoming. And even if it feels very, very uncomfortable, even if it feels slow, like you think you're going backwards or like a crab crawling backwards instead of forward, or a turtle, that kind of slowness. And even if it feels unclear, there's something real happening with you. Trust that. Trust that. Trust that. I appreciate you being here today. Seriously. Whether you're here live, whether you're here later, or whether you're just here in the world at this very moment. I appreciate that, because we all learn from each other. We are all interconnected. We are under the same part of the same web. We're part, we are one of the oneness. And if this resonates with you, please stay connected. We're going to keep going deeper into this, breath by breath, step by step. And before you leave, close your eyes again. Take one deep, slow breath. You're not alone at this, not even close. You are here, part of a group, part of a tribe. You just haven't found it. I am one of I have created this space to be one of those tribes where we could all be loving, caring, non judgmental, and with open arms. I'd like to thank you again for being here with me, for joining me, for all of your comments, all of your emails later on. Even if you should send me a little text or on any social media, contact me also there. My website is glendasmagicalcreations.com, and you could hit the contact button. I am here for you. And if you ever want to talk about anything or you want me to bring a special subject that seems to resonate with you or you're longing to hear more about it, let me know. Next week, we have a phenomenal guest, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. She's a returning guest, but she really is planning to go in deeper, more like a real conversation, and truly bring experiences that are going to blow your mind. I love you as always. Many blessings, and see you next week. Stay well, healthy, and remember, you're not alone. Bye.